What's up, and welcome back to another episode of The Broken Mask Show. I'm Cameron, I'm here with the boys,
Chris?
Jake.
and our co-host Key could not make it here tonight. So what we got planned to do today are some, if you've never heard of it, it's we go on Reddit, and it's going to be Am I the Asshole Reddits. We got some of those, and we may throw in a couple of Would You Rather. But basically, Am I the Asshole Reddits, what it is like you have a certain story that comes up, and we're going to sit here and try and figure out who is the asshole in the situation.
A lot of these people are crazy, so just be ready if the story just goes off, you know.
So I guess if y'all just want to go ahead and get right into it.
Also, sometimes we might even have just no opinion on it, depending on it, because some of these could go like,
Some of them could be fucked up.
yeah,
So
they go all over the place.
No comment.
I guess we'll get right into it.
Oh yeah.
So this first one says, am I the asshole for silently getting up and walking out of the restaurant during a New Year's Eve dinner after I was told to pay for everyone at the table? Says, I, a female, 32 years old, recently inherited a good amount of money from my mom. I kept the money in a separate account as I still haven't decided what to do with it, and I didn't want it to go to waste. I noticed my husband constantly bringing up the inheritance money and making countless suggestions as to how I should spend it. Another thing is he expects me to pay for nearly everything the past couple of weeks. For New Year's Eve, my husband and I met up with his family at a restaurant to celebrate. It was going fine until I found out that I was expected to pay for everyone at the table. My husband's mom joked about paying for dinner out of my inheritance pocket, which made me livid, but I showed no reaction. Just silently paid for my own food/drinks. Then I got up and made my way out of the restaurant. They were shouting after me like a crowd, and my husband tried to get me to come back, but I drove home. He got back at about 3 a.m. yelling at me, saying I was pathetic to get up and walk out on him and his family after they relied on me to pay for their food and thought I was gracious enough to do it, but they were wrong. He said I humiliated him and his family, and that what I did was an attempt to get back at them for not being able to help mom when she was sick. Not true is all I'm going to say. He is mad and is saying that I caused a huge rift between his family and me, and his family and me, when it wouldn't have hurt me to pay for the celebratory dinner.
So she got an inherited check from her side of the family. Like
I assume
it was her.
From her mom. She got an inheritance check from her mom, and it's
Yeah.
the boyfriend's family who wants to.
Then she has no right to pay that. Like, she's not an asshole. I guess she's a little bit overreacted walking out.
Yeah, I mean, she could have just like maybe said like, I'm not paying for this, but I don't feel like she's the asshole in the situation. I feel like it's kind of like an overreaction on everybody's part.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, I feel like I can speak from experience talking about inheritance money. It's like it's none of your business to like tell me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's just that's like a weird gesture to like go out to eat with somebody and just kind of expect them to pay for you.
yeah, it'd be one thing if it's like an inheritance check. It's not like it's gonna last forever. But say you got a job that you're making like 6 figures a year, and like you would get more money after that. That might be a difference, but still, even then, it's like pay for your own stuff if you like. Unless like I already tell you ahead that it's
Yeah.
like I'll cover the bill or something like that. But don't show up somewhere expecting me to pay for you.
I would have walked out.
You would have just walked out. What was that? So you're saying that you would have been the girl in the situation?
Yeah.
You would have. So you
Yeah,
don't feel that she's an asshole?
Huh?
So you don't feel that she's an asshole?
She's not an
Yeah. I don't know. It's I feel like walking out.
Because she had mentioned her husband, like, ever since she got the inheritance money, kept bugging her to, like, hey, pay this, pay that.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she just got tired of it, so she walked out. That was the last straw for her.
Yeah, I guess that does make more sense now that it has been bugged a lot about. Like, if it was just like a one-time thing, then I feel like that's kind of a fucked up situation. But her walking out, I guess I probably would have done the same thing.
It's more than the husband though. Like I guess like I would instantly like tell I guess if it was my girlfriend or my wife and like she just got an inheritance, I would tell my parents like, oh yeah, she's not paying for that.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it would be cool, but you know we're probably gonna put that in savings or something just like that.
Do we feel like moving on to the next one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like we explored that one.
All right. So this one says, am I the asshole for canceling Mother's Day celebration that I arranged for my wife after hearing what she told my son? I, male, 37 years old, have a 13-year-old son. I was a widower when I met my now wife. She has a 16-year-old daughter from another relationship. The family is often on pretty good terms. My son is the quiet one in the house. He keeps to himself a lot, but not to the point of being concerning. My wife and stepdaughter are the complete opposite. They both encourage him to be outgoing and share activities and join gatherings with extended family. My son complained about having to be forced out of his comfort zone and having his need for space invalidated. I spoke to both my wife and stepdaughter and asked them to give him space and freedom to spend his time however he wanted. They apologized and promised to let him be. As Mother's Day was approaching, I wanted to throw my wife a surprise Mother's Day celebration. It was no longer a surprise because my stepdaughter gave her the heads up so she could prepare. Yesterday I got off work earlier than usual to get final arrangements done. We planned to celebrate at the restaurant and invited her family there. I had the key, and while I was entering the house through the front door, I overheard my wife and stepdaughter talking to my son. My wife was asking my son if he could convince me to let them stay home and not go with them to the restaurant to celebrate. I paused and decided to keep listening. My son said why, and she told him that his introverted and socially inept attitude will make her family uncomfortable and will ruin the whole mood. He promised her that he'd be well behaved and would try to interact and socialize with everyone, but she said that she wasn't buying it. He kept reassuring her, but she snapped and told him that technically she's not his mom, so she didn't get why he wanted to celebrate Mother's Day with her so badly. My stepdaughter threw some, I don't remember, backhanded comments, and then both of them were shocked to see me standing there. Both were staring without saying anything. I told my son and his stepsister to go to their rooms, then told my wife that the celebration was all canceled. She tried to argue, asking why repeatedly, and I told her why. She tried to explain that she didn't mean it and that I only heard part of the conversation, but not all of it. I told her I was done arguing and the decision was already made. She yelled, asking what she was going to tell her family, and said that I was making a tremendous mistake towards her. I ignored her while she kept throwing tantrums after tantrum. Earlier this morning, she took my stepdaughter and went to stay with her folks. Not a single call or text from her so far. Situation is full of tension. I'm upset, but still more hurt, to be honest. I mean, yes, I did say I was going to have this celebration, but I thought that when she said what she said to my son was too harsh to ignore.
He's not the asshole.
Yeah, I don't feel like he's an asshole.
You don't talk to your own blood, my own blood like that if you're not his blood.
Yeah.
It's like an overreaction on all parts. Like still though, like if you ever have an argument with somebody, just sit down and talk to them about it. If they're not talking to you about it, then give them time to calm down, and then still try to talk to them about it. And don't try to like state your side. Still, just try to get them to maybe like, I guess, understand like where they could be wrong in their situation.
Yeah. I mean,
because she's left, like she's just like in the end it got to where she's now staying at somebody else's house.
Yeah.
And like, you know, took her daughter. I wonder if there's an update on this, because they probably broke up.
Possibly. I mean, I really feel like it was an overreaction. Like, how you just gonna tell someone to stay home because they're gonna ruin the mood when they're supposed to be your family?
Yeah.
Like,
also, if he's an introvert, didn't you say he's introverted socially?
mm-hmm.
Then that would mean he's like really not messing with people. So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, somebody like by themselves might like ruin the mood, but like, I mean, in reality, like he's not really interacting with people.
Yeah. I don't understand how he would have like fucked up the whole situation. I mean, it would have been one thing if it's like, oh, they're like, well, I don't even, what would they actually do? I'm trying to think about what they would do to like celebrate Mother's Day, like if there would be like a cake involved, or if there would just be like certain foods.
I guess a surprise party, so it was like kind of like a birthday.
But
party.
it said the daughter also told the mom that like it was supposed to be a surprise. The daughter was a bitch. I feel like she was the asshole because she told the mom when the dad was trying to have it as a surprise.
Yeah.
Only way I could think of, like, if they're going to like somewhere like where it's like really crowded, and he doesn't really want to be around all those people, or they do like activities that involves them with interacting with other people and stuff.
Yeah.
Like say like they go like zip lining and like the kid's not really comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And like the mom, like the stepmom is nagging her like, come on, stop being like a party pooper and go zip line.
Yeah. I hate situations like that, man.
Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it.
Yeah. So I guess we got another one where we don't feel like the dad was the asshole in the situation. If anything, the daughter was an asshole.
Yeah, it's more or less like who's the asshole in the situation.
I do want to go on a tangent. Like in like Mexican parties, there's always like your aunt, your tia telling like, come on, or like your mom, or like any other like people telling you, come on, let's go dance. And then the person is telling you, no, like, just stop, man. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it.
I remember that happened. That exact situation happened to me. Where it's like I was at a Hispanic thing and someone was just pressuring me to go dance.
Yeah, it's like something about it. That's how I was. So, if I want to do it, like I'm not saying that I don't like to do it. If I wanted to do it, I will. But if I'm saying no.
Yeah.
And don't force me to do it.
And then there's like also a line too, like when you're like, you know, there's like one no's all right. Like after you like pressure somebody after one no, that's kind of all right. But after like three and like grabbing their hand, pulling them towards you, that's like where it's like, oh my god, because that's exactly what happened to me, bro. I was like to the point where they grabbed me.
They're just dancing like really awkwardly.
It's like forcing you to like be there, and it's like you're trying to pull away. They're holding you there.
There's a video out there somewhere.
So this one says, am I the asshole for using flashcards to explain to my brother and his wife why they can't bring their rainbow baby to my wedding?
I'm sorry to see what that means.
My fiance and I are getting married. We've decided a wedding is going to be a child-free wedding. No hate towards children, just to keep it more organized and contained. My brother Chris and his wife have a 3-year-old son who everyone calls Miracle or Rainbow Baby. He came after several failed pregnancies that lasted for years. When they found out that my nephew was included in the no children rule, they tried to convince me to make an exception for him. Chris told me his son is a miracle baby and his presence at the wedding will bring blessings for me and my fiance. I refused and said no, the wedding is child-free. His wife kept sending my fiance pics of my nephew when he was months old. What does that mean? I told them no and to stop. My brother told me this might cause a rift in our relationship. I again said no and explained that the wedding is child-free. He asked again and pointed out how his baby is different since he's a miracle baby. I again said no and explained that the wedding is child-free. They brought it up when they visited at my home, and I knew they weren't going to stop, so I made flashcards in advance with the phrase, "The wedding is child-free, period," and pulled them out and started slowly showing them the flashcard one by one in this order. The wedding, with a sticker of a bride and groom, is child with a sticker of a baby, free with 3 E's with a sticker of a no sign, period with a huge black dot sticker. They both were stunned. I asked if they get it now, and Chris had lost his shit. His wife had already grabbed her stuff and walked out. Chris called me an asshole. Chris called me an asshole for doing this and said that I disrespected him, his wife, and their son, who's my one and only nephew. He rushed out after we argued. My fiance saw the whole thing and thought that it was funny, but my parents and Chris were livid beyond measure. They're telling everyone about the amount of disrespect and mockery I displayed towards them, and I'm being told to fix it now. It's a rainbow baby. I mean,
This went from like a Nordic thing to like almost like a British sitcom thing.
Yeah.
Went from he'll bring spiritual blessings to your wedding.
Is it like a church wedding, or is this after like where they go to like the venues and stuff?
It didn't even say what. It just said that it's a child-free wedding. No rainbow baby allowed.
I feel like he was like, all right, so I would have felt like he was joking through the text because he's like, everyone like asking that. That's like something I would send to y'all. And then like I would have just took the flashcards as a joke. But at the end of the day, I think it would have been funny if he was like, he was shocked, and then like you see his like he pulls flashcards out of his pocket.
He's like, no, rainbow baby will be coming.
You never said anything about miracle children.
I would say like if it's like where they're at the church and they're getting married, like just imagine like at your wedding, the people that are like filming your stuff, or if y'all do that, or if y'all ever do that, the people that are filming, they're trying to capture this special moment, and in the background there's just some baby crying.
Well, like you can take
that bothers me a lot.
You could like take the baby into the next room.
Some people don't even fucking do that. They're like, oh, I want to see this. I want to see this.
You know, the thing that's kind of crazy about this situation is that I was actually I was rainbow baby, but it was the fact that
Did you go to the wedding?
No, actually,
so your mom made this post, or you?
No. For me, it was one of my uncles whenever they got married, and my parents were asked to not bring me. My sister could go, but I couldn't because at the time I don't even think I was a year old maybe.
But you're a rainbow baby.
I was told, or they were told that I could not come, and my parents, they got really furious. They were like, why can't we bring the baby? And it's like, you just don't want to have the baby here for that situation. And they told us, like, they thought it was like really fucked up. And then I don't remember if I actually wound up attending it or not. I feel like there's pictures of me somewhere where I was at the wedding and I was being held by people, or I could have just been babysitted by my grams.
I really don't remember. I was a good baby. I thought I wasn't really crying a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like from my experience at like the venues or like the parties, I always see the damn kids running around the whole place, knocking down stuff, pushing people. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I what's it called? At the end of the day,
it's my wedding, bro. I do not want children crying. I want to like, if I choose to like have this film, I want to like hear what the people are saying. I want to hear my vows loud and clear.
I don't think that they're an asshole for saying no children allowed. I think, because I mean the prompt is, am I the asshole for using flashcards to explain the situation? I think that was kind of overstepped. Like, why you gotta use flashcards?
Well, didn't they have to use that because
the people kept on insisting, yeah. But still, it's like, I don't know. You could have gotten even to the point where it's like, you're not invited to my wedding if you can't understand.
Well, that's the customary thing to do, because, I mean, if you think about it, most of their family's probably going to be going to, like, except for, like, the dude's wife. Like, maybe if her mom can't. Yeah, like, I'm saying, like, the couple can't, like, really get a babysitter because most of their family's going to be at the wedding, except if the other person's, like, that's not related to the person.
They'd have to get, like, a babysitter, so that's, like, it's kind of fucked up. Like, say, like, what are you going to do with the baby?
Some people don't take their kids to babysitters. Like, so I guess if they're in that situation, I just
your older nephew.
I just really want.
I guess that's kind of true, but that's like even the nephew. Well, I guess yeah. It depends on how. But
how big your family is.
But it also depends on how old the other kids are, because like what, like I guess you consider a child to be like under the age of 18 maybe.
Bro, I was looking over my little cousins by the age of like 10.
Well, I was looking after my nephews at 10.
That's how it was at our church, though. It was like you go to a children's room and the like 18-year-olds kind of just watch over you. Like, I mean, during church, during like weddings, anything like that.
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of like a little bit of an overstep, or a little bit too much. But at the same time, I mean, that was kind of like a last resort, kind of like in the last thing. or the first one we did, where it's like she was constantly being bothered about the inheritance and stuff. So it's like, at that point, it's like, yeah, you got to.
Like Chris said, if people say no, just take it. Like one time, maybe push it, but after that, it's.
Yeah.
I wonder how it'd be if they show up to the place with a baby.
They did it anyway.
Throw the
Get
baby.
kicked out.
Yeah, would they do something
Kick out
with
the
Rainbow Baby?
Rainbow Baby might have magic
He
powers.
he might fuck them up.
You never know what Rainbow Baby could do. Am I the asshole for getting mad my artist hid their initials in my tattoo? This is a short one, names changed for privacy. I went to a tattoo shop in my area with a photo of the tattoo that I wanted, and it was one my dad had gotten to honor my past grandfather, whose father had also gotten it. But the point it was important to me that the tattoo looked exactly like as it did in the photo. I get to the shop, I explain everything, I pay, I get the tattoo, and we're done. I think it looks awesome and everything is great until a few weeks later, until I show my great-grandmother the tattoo. She's ecstatic, grabs my arm to look at it and compliment it, then asks, "Who's AJ?" I ask her what she means. She points on the tattoo where the initials A and J. Maybe T's were hidden into the tattoo also. I'm instantly pissed, and as my artist name is Alice Trevor, she tries to assure me that it's no big deal if I haven't noticed it till now, but I reached out to the artist sort of irritated. They told me the style of art I got is called traditional art. It's pretty trad for all the artists who do the style to do it. I demanded a partial refund and they refused, so I complained to the owner who made the artist give me a full refund. Now the artist is running a full smear campaign talking about moving shops, all that kinds of crap. My sister says I'm an asshole for pushing the issue, but I feel like at the end of the day, I told you exactly what I wanted you to do. That. Am I an asshole?
No, I don't feel like they're an asshole because this is nothing that can speak from like personal opinion. My dad had a tattoo that was like it was a blue heart. It was actually on his left arm, and it was like a broken heart with an arrow put through it. And I plan on getting that like right in the same place that he had his. And it's specifically that tattoo, like nothing else is done to it. That's gonna be like a completely clear area except for just that tattoo. And so I wouldn't want it to be tarnished by someone else's name being up there.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like oh, my bad for stuttering on the post. I haven't read out loud in a while. But yeah, that's kind of a messed up thing to do. Especially if he knew it was somebody's like just like you said, sentimental to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know people that really don't care they're tatted, so they're getting like 10, 12 tattoos, all that. Like that's what number they're at right now. So I guess they really wouldn't care. But if it's somebody's like sentimental tattoo, that's kind of crazy.
What gets me is you didn't see it the first time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it was
I mean,
hidden?
they say it was hidden within the tattoo. I feel like depending on where it is that they got the tattoo from, or like where it is on the body, it's like, don't you think, unless he's like afraid of like needles and doesn't want to like look at it and shit, but like if you have it, like say you have it right there on your forearm when you get the tattoo, don't you think you're gonna be looking at what the person's doing? Unless, because some places what they do, they might give you headphones, or they'll give you like you can have your phone, so you might be sitting there looking on your phone and not paying attention, so that's understandable. But still, like say you got like something that's like it's like on your arm it says "I love you, Mom," and then it just says AJ right beside it, and it's like "I love you, Mom, AJ." What the fuck does that mean? If he did happen to sign it, then like you should have asked at least.
Yeah.
But like, who signs tattoos?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I'm not in like the tattoo like
Culture.
yeah. So I don't know if like that's something that they actually do. But I do know like when painters, when you paint, you do like hide your or you write your signature like in a little corner.
Mm-hmm. I've seen you do that several times.
I feel like it's two different things.
Yeah.
Well, one is a canvas, and I mean, people say their body is a canvas, but like, I feel like for a painting,
It's more personal. You actually get it on your body.
Like for a painting, if you could probably just like, depending on how big you write that stuff in the corner, you could probably just get a frame for it, and then it would like not show that person's initial.
Mm-hmm.
But you have someone's like it's tattooed on their body, like you can't just like put a piece of tape over it or like just use makeup to cover it up. Because
I would maybe. I'd talk to a lawyer about it, see what I could do for a civil suit, and then maybe get it up for removal.
Yeah.
Plus, actually, I've like been browsing at tattoos because I want to get my first tat this year. I've never seen an initial on it.
Yeah.
By the tattoo artist himself.
That is kind of crazy.
So,
Maybe if like, but still, it's the fact of it being a sentimental value that throws it off. But like, say like you were like in the tattoo business or something like that, where like you actually giving tattoos, I'd be like, oh yeah, you could sign it if you wanted to. But it's still like a permission type thing. Like you don't just go and do it like without being like, hey, by the way.
Yeah.
I have like been thinking about maybe getting tattoos, but that has never crossed my mind. Putting my own initials on somebody's body.
Yeah.
I always thought about it. I'm not really a tattoo person.
Yeah, he's not an asshole for going to you went to the police, right?
No, I think he just went called for
like
a
complaint.
refund, and then the dude
he's
ended
not
up
an
moving
asshole.
shops.
He's not an asshole.
Y'all think we're ready to move on to the next one?
I think we will.
I'll try to keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought in February of 2019, a couple months ago. A couple months ago, I bought my first house that had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in another, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis, and the whole time has hated the car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places and to park under, with shady trees or hell, even a barn, if it has to be inside. I tell her, tough luck, it's my house, and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple of days on a business trip for the small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles, making me food all the time, doing the chores, all that. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home, but then I realized I didn't see her car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I could make sure that I mow that area and keep it clean. She said not to worry because she parked in the garage. I asked how, and she told me to go over and check it out. Turns out while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, chassis, I don't know how to pronounce that, and all parts, and take it to the local dump and scrapyard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 on that car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that. She even brushed off like I was being dramatic. I told her it's done between us and to pack her things up and leave. I admit I got really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer. And as I have all the receipts for the money spent, and I have her on my house security cam footage letting the guys in and watching them take it all, I think I can win. Her family and friends absolutely blow me up, saying it's a stupid old piece of junk and that she cannot pay it back all the money I spent and I should just let it go. But I have been putting all my time and effort and money into that car for 1.5 years now, and god damn it if I'm not going to get justice for what she did. Am I the asshole?
No.
No. Definitely no. What the fuck? Why the fuck would she do that?
They should do it like trying to be nice, like, oh, I'm gonna clean the garage.
It doesn't. She just didn't want him to work on the car.
Nah, yes.
No, she wanted garage space. She did it just so that she could park in that spot in the garage.
Man spent $11,000 on the fucking shit.
That's 11K down the drain.
Yeah. That's a girlfriend.
Plus the price of the car.
And it's not like she is his girlfriend for many years. She just moved in that year.
I would have kicked him.
Fuck her. God damn.
At the end of the day, he kind of did overreact a little bit. Because now, there could be situations to where this could be resolved. She did take it to the scrapyard, but he needs to then maybe see what's happening now. Instead of kicking her out, maybe just see what they can maybe, like, go back and undo. Because, like, at the end of the day, there's, like, I don't know, a process and everything.
Plus, he brought parts, and all of those are gone, too.
But,
He had to track down every single part he bought and try to get them back.
But it is a girlfriend, so it's like, if it was a wife, then definitely, you shouldn't have kicked her out. But yeah.
And to like talk about the junkyard, even if you happen to track down those parts, people go to the junkyard all the time to get parts. So by the time you get there, you might not even have the parts. Might not even be there.
Well, I'd instantly just try to scramble to it. Y'all ready for an update?
Yeah.
I went to the police station last night, was told to come back in the morning, just got back and filed an official report against her for grand larceny and grand theft auto. I showed them all the receipts I had for the car and footage of her letting the guys come in and take it, as the title for the vehicle is in my name. They said they will be in contact with all three parties, me, my XGF, the junkyard guys, soon, and they will hopefully be able to recover some or all of the car. Just have to wait now. Alright, now there's a huge update. They found my goddamn car. The junkyard guys apparently were in the middle of hiding it when the police came to ask them questions. It was on a forklift and they were going to put it on top of a pile of cars that was hidden behind more piles of cars. They say it was theirs and they had the title, but obviously didn't have the title for it. And since they matched the VIN on the chassis, the body to the VIN on my title, it was obviously mine. I know at least one person there has been arrested. I think he was in the camera footage I talked about earlier, but I don't know if it was the boss or whomever, or even his specific charge. They also told me they would be looking into this specific junkyard for any other vehicles reported stolen. They said they haven't been able to get in contact with my ex just yet. They're working on it. I'm just so glad they found my car. Luckily, I made quite an album of pictures detailing me tearing down the car so I could use that to prove what parts they had were mine, so I can hopefully get most or all of it back. Police haven't let me take it back home yet, as they say it's evidence or something, so hopefully I can get it back eventually. Thank you all so much for the support and advice. She's gonna be all right. All caps. And she's gonna be all right. I'm glad that he got his car back.
I don't know,
Yeah.
too. Like,
Damn, girlfriend got him into some sketchy ass shit.
hell yeah. Like, why are they trying to hide the fucking car now?
Yeah. Now, well, that's just junkyards for you. A lot of junkyards participate in kind of,
They seen a vintage car and they wanted to have it.
Yeah. Or to be like, their employees are under the books, stuff like that. And then, like, at the end of the day, they just don't want all the police attention,
Yeah.
Which, that's what they just attract because, people that know how to work on cars,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really glad this dude found his car. Are y'all ready to go into the next one, or y'all want to dream about this 1969, I think?
See, the thing about it, too.
Oh, 1967 Impala.
See,
Oh, Impala.
if y'all don't know what that specifically is, that's the supernatural car, and that's
What's
the one that I
supernatural?
want as well. But yeah, the car from Supernatural that they drive, a 1967 Chevy Impala. Yeah, I thought it was gonna actually.
He had a link in his thing, and I clicked his link, but it went to a dead link.
At least I think. Well, I know that it's at least it's the Supernatural car.
Oh, you've been pissed then.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, it could also be because, or no, never mind. I was gonna say it might have been the one from Vampire Diaries, but the one from Vampire Diaries is a SS Camaro. But still, 1967 Chevy Impala, 4-door, nice ass car.
I'd have been a little pissed, but at the end of the day, I might not would have gone as far as kicking her out, but I probably would have kicked her out. And depending on how she reacted to it. and also how much money she had to, give me to pay up for the car.
God damn.
Am I the asshole for reason? Am I the asshole for reason?
Can you not speak?
Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance / college money? Context. My sister, female 27, and I, 18, female, or my bad. I'm gonna restart because she fucking put an F in front of that one and then she put an 18, so it fucked me up. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my sister's husband's surgery? God damn! It's late, dude. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my sister? If I miss that goddamn 4 again, I'm gonna kill myself. Am I the asshole refusing to pay for my sister's husband's surgery with my inheritance / college money? Context. My sister, female 27, and I, female 18, lost our dad a year ago. He was my only parent. Mom was never in mine or my sister's life. Dad left money's inheritance for me and my sister, and she used her inheritance to get new cars and renovate her house. I live with my aunt right now because my brother-in-law didn't let me stay with my sister. I'm planning on using my inheritance money to pay for my college tuition. I've always wanted to be a doctor, but haven't decided which branch yet. My sister and I haven't been close. It started after she got married to her chronologically ill husband, who was allowed to make backhanded comments about my dad and mock his illness and make a scene at his funeral, only because he's ill and shouldn't be held accountable for his behavior. I've distanced myself, but my sister kept visiting a lot lately, venting about my brother-in-law's condition, and he's been in and out of the hospital for heart problems and in need for surgery. She brought up my inheritance money several times, but I ended up cutting the conversation. She then brought it straight back up and asked if I could help pay for her husband's surgery, and she paid back in less than a year. I felt uneasy because if I give her money for my inheritance, which is a large amount, then there's no guarantee she'll pay it back before the time I apply for college. I'm taking a year gap, but I know my sister can't pay back that much, and I felt I was risking my future. I refused to help. She had a meltdown at my aunt's house, calling me heartless and cruel with no empathy. She said her husband's health is a priority and I needed to help because the education is nothing compared to someone's health. She asked if I'd be happy to see her as a widow and my nephew with no father. My aunt suggested others pay, but most of them cut my sister and her husband off. I agreed that her husband's poor health isn't my fault. After she kept blaming and guilt tripping me, she kept crying, although my aunt decided to stay out of it. She said that if I should be prepared for permanent damage in my relationship with my sister if I don't help her now. She's been sending me texts and pictures of her family telling me this is what I was saying not to. A happy, healthy family with a healthy husband and father. I cried and felt like I was being selfish, not a good aunt and sister. I asked my friend, and he said let them all sell their cars and give them luxurious stuff that they bought to afford the surgery, and warned me if I could give them money, I'll never get back and may not be able to get into medical school. My bad, y'all, I stutter. It's just, I'm forming an opinion in my head whilst I'm reading it, and it's just like two things going on at once. This one was a little bit crazy, that's why I had a hard time getting through it. I don't think she's the asshole.
I don't think she is either.
If you talked about her mentally, or not her mentally ill, her ill father, then, you know, she shouldn't have to pay for nothing.
I don't think she's asked because one, you made a scene at my pop's funeral and you like made fun of him while he was sick.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying like he made jokes.
Yeah. Two, I wouldn't pay for his whole surgery. I'd pitch in because that's what my sister. I'd pitch in to help, and you can like the rest you can figure it out on your own.
Mm-hmm. I am about to give you like all of my college money.
I'm not gonna pay for your disrespectful ass husband's surgery
Mm-hmm.
that spoke of my pops.
With college money, I don't know. Like, kind of like need that money fast.
Yeah.
So I understand why she's like wanting to kind of. I think it's a she.
Yeah.
I understand why she doesn't want to, like, really risk that.
It's also an inheritance check, and she's 18 years old.
Yeah.
Supposed to be paying for someone in their 20s.
Who renovates their house also while they're like going through like a ill period in their life?
Yeah.
And also, who gets in? I guess if you get a brand new car, you get scammed anyway. So,
Sell the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start selling shit. Yard sales. Selling food. GoFundMe.
Yeah,
Oh,
GoFundMe would be a really easy way to do it.
I think I'm gonna read one more because
You want to redeem yourself?
yeah.
All right, well, you can read one more.
Y'all think we're good with this one, or y'all got any more?
She's not the asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really not. Like Chris said, I might would pitch in, maybe even start a GoFundMe, like you know, teach them how to do that. But even the other family cut him off. Like there's other family members that cut him off, so I'd be more or less like saying, "Why are you singling me out?" Well, you know, go ready to move on.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? The title makes me sound horrible, but hear me out. My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7 and cannot be left alone. She is nonverbal and cannot take care of herself at all, despite the fact that she is only 12. She is extremely destructive and violent and destroys anything she gets her hands on. I hate her. That shouldn't be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel like it. I was only 6 years old when she was born, and since then I've never solely had my parents' attention. Even since I can remember, the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because she needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14, she destroyed my Mac, and my school gave me I was in the wrong. Along with this, I am expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. I can never make plans with a friend because my parents expect me to be there if she needs me to take care of her. Even when I do somehow get time to myself, I am required to leave if they need me. If I do not, then I'm punished. The recent example of this is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie, and was grounded because I turned my phone off in the theater. It seems as if I am nothing more than a slave to them, and anything involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at a school event. I was so excited, and my parents promised to be there, but they never showed and claimed it was because my sister, anytime anything like this happens for me, they are too busy with her. I've held this in for so long, and it's finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays well so that when they're gone, I can take care of my sister. I don't know why this caused me to break down. I cried and screamed about how it's always about her. I'm nothing more than a caretaker to them. That they always make it about her, and I'm expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I've locked myself into my room since then, and my parents have not came to check on me. Am I the asshole here?
Damn, this is tough, man.
Yeah.
Because it's not her sister's fault.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing she could really do about it. I don't think I would go as far as to say that I would like hate my sister or my sibling for that. I feel like maybe you would just kind of bring up like, hey, we may need extra help, like some kind of other caretaker, or we're doing something wrong. Like we might need like an outside source to be able to tell us how to take care of things better.
I think I'm gonna use my no comment on this one. This one's kind of sad.
What?
You got he says no comment.
Oh.
Do you also say no comment?
Yeah, I say no comment because it is something like the majority of people can relate to.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it. I can never relate to this, I don't think. besides this.
No.
I hope this
The
person.
only thing
finds
like
out
I
now.
can say is like, it's it would kind of be like the parents' fault of like neglecting her and like paying more attention to the autistic sister. And like when she had mentioned the college thing, it was like, good luck getting to college because you're gonna be here taking care of your sister.
Yeah.
That kind of bugged me.
That's what I was trying to find out. It didn't specifically say whether or not if it was a female or a male. I know that's the sister, but I'm wondering about who is speaking. Which, I mean, it doesn't change my opinion. I was just wondering because I know you said she. So, but yeah.
Well, no comment, but I pray to God this person finds help in their
No
situation. And
Yeah. And it says there's an update.
Oh, there's an update? Wow, thank you all for the support and love that you guys have given me. I never expected this post to reach the popularity that it did. Thank you all. After thinking about it for these past few hours, you are right. I don't despise my sister. It's not her fault that she was born this way she is. My parents came to talk to me after a while, after my breakdown. But I was unable to bring myself to talk to them. I only cried and asked them to leave. They made arrangements with my grandfather for me to stay with him for the time being, and I'm getting ready to go to his house. My parents want to talk to me, but we've decided it's best I leave for now and have some space and time to collect myself. We will be sitting down and talking about this later this week about the issue. Thank you all again for the love and support to this. I'll send an update later this week if you guys are interested. And I think this was posted 3 years ago, so yeah. I guess I don't know what happened a week later.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that it was handled that way. Like, went to the grandparents' house, calmed down, and then gonna come to a solution. So I guarantee that it got settled, like,
Yeah.
civilly.
Well, that's kind of like how I felt. Like I felt like it was like an outside source that needed to be brought in and figure out exactly what it is that you could do to help the situation. I don't think like there's nothing in this world that I feel like can get me to hate my sister. Like she would have had to have done like some really messed up shit. I don't even if my sister happened to be autistic, I don't think I would hate her or despise her from what this person said.
Yeah. I'm just glad that they went down that way, and that the fact that there's no update, it makes me think that it went down civilly. And also, I think that the parents probably settled it all because they got a kid with special needs, so they, probably not the best at handling situations as you see their child is in this predicament, but
Yeah.
at least they probably handle it civilly.
Anything else to add?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one.
Does anybody want to save me from having to read? I hated reading out loud in class. Like, I was always the stutterer. Even though I don't really stutter in real life, it's just reading something, like, my eyes aren't, like, catching up with my brain.
Am I the asshole for taking the beer I bought for a party from which I was uninvited? This happened just a few hours ago. I'm a 19-year-old man, and the people calling me an asshole are 18-year-old men and women. On Thursday, a person I had a major crush on in high school, but who rejected me, messaged me out of the blue. She had never contacted me without, I guess he meant put me contacting her at first. And at one point, I realized she had, Jesus, he did not type of shit. I realized she had blocked. I'm having a stroke reading this, bro. She had me blocked on social media, and so I found it odd that she's suddenly being friendly. After sending a couple of greetings / questions about how I've been, she said that she was going to have some people over and wanted to know if I could get the beer. The drinking age where we are is 19, and she and the people who were going to chill were all 18. The liquor stores in my area all card. I thought it was silly that being a month older meant I could buy liquor and they couldn't. And so I said I would love to go. She says, thanks, I'll pick you up at 7. 7 o'clock rolled around and she texted me to say she was in front of my house. I went out dressed and ready to chill with some people, and she drove me to the liquor store where we got there. I asked what beer she wanted to get, and she told me to get Budweiser. I hid my disappointment as well as I could, but it was her party, so I went and bought 2 cases of 24s. I got back in the car and said, let's party. And she was eerily quiet. I noticed that she wasn't driving towards her neighborhood, but rather back towards mine. I thought she had moved or something, but didn't want to press the issue. When she turned down my street, I finally figured it out. She was being purposely vague about the invitation because she wanted me to get beer, but she wanted a way out when she told me I wasn't actually invited in the first place. She stopped in front of my house, leaned over, kissed me on the cheek, and said thanks in her best voice. I deadpanned her and asked when she was going to tell me I wasn't invited. She feigned surprise and said that she never intended to invite me in the first place. I sat in silence for a long, awkward minute, picked up the beer, and walked towards my front door. She got out the car and frankly tried to re-invite me to the party, but I told her that what she did was the most humiliating thing that ever happened to me. I opened my front door, slammed it a bit too hard, and came back to my room. Now I'm sitting here drinking absolutely unpalatable piss water, and Budweiser. And I have text messages from all her friends asking me why I'm being such a dick. I don't think I'm an asshole for reacting the way I did, but if you haven't figured it out, I'm not amazing socially, so I'm not sure. Am I here?
I text her friends and say, hey, I got some drinks at my house if you're trying to pull up. And then I text them the wrong address.
No, yeah, I really would have done that. I would text all her friends like, y'all want to part? No, I'm not thinking that good.
Because I was saying that, but then I thought about it. I was like, her friends are probably degenerates too.
That's
It's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I'd have probably even just threw it one. I'd have been like, all right, here you go. Thanks for the ride to the store. Or something like that.
I'm kind of confused.
What?
It says that the dude is 19 years old.
I guess they could be in Canada.
That is true. They could.
Or, oh yeah, maybe.
Because of drinking age, but like,
I was about to say, maybe that was back then, but
it was only 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're probably in Canada, or maybe even like Spain or something like that.
Was it for alcohol or freaking cigarettes?
The cigarette thing is like I think it's like 18, or it was 18. Then they upped it to 21, didn't they?
Yeah.
But drinking has always been 21, except for some countries they do it.
Yeah, like in the 60s, maybe it was like 18 or some shit like that. But ever since like the 80s or something, it's in that period, 60s to the 80s. I think they upped it to 21.
He bought the beer?
Yeah.
What it is.
He went and bought two 24 packs
cases
for the party, and then, or she texted him and basically said, "Hey, what's up?
There's like this party going on. Can we go get some beer?" And then he was just like, "Yeah, sure."
Buy the beer. Yeah, I'm not paying.
Yeah.
Is that what she did?
Well,
damn, I'm ready. I'm still asking questions.
I guess from what I heard anyway, it doesn't really like specifically say. It's basically just like, hey, there's a party going on. Do you mind like
buying the beer?
Yeah, if we go get some beer, and be like, oh yeah, because maybe at 18 they can't buy it, at 19 they can, and so I don't know. Maybe
this
that's
is only a flex for a month though, so like you gotta make sure, because in a month you're just gonna be able to go buy it.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's so like weird. I guess he might be weird too. Like, you never know. He could be like one of them.
Oh, my fault. It does says the drinking age where we are is 19.
Oh.
I didn't hear you say that part. It's my fault. The people who are all going to chill there are 18. So.
Yeah. They're getting looked out for. Plus, they're stupid anyway. What if they need refills?
Yeah.
Which I guess it'd be too late by then, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't know how it is with them. You could start, you know.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, he's not an asshole because that's basically being taken advantage of.
Oh yeah, they're drinking Bud Light. Yeah, they do need
Budweiser.
Or yeah, they could just go to a gas station and get that 24-hour one.
Am I the asshole for throwing my kids' clothes onto the floor when they don't fold them neatly? Well, you're a fucking asshole. Almost 2 months ago, I made a post on here about me throwing my daughter's clothes onto the drawer when they weren't folded neatly. Well, that post really blew up. People on Twitter also chimed in.
I know it's bad.
Well, the night I made the post, I was still in serious denial. I replied to some comments, and my denial was perfectly clear for everyone to see. The day after I read some more comments and messages I received from everyone, I resorted to the guest room and cried for hours. I read some people tell me that their moms were similar to me, and they no longer have relationships with them. That was truly my worst fear. I seriously love my kids more than anything on this planet, even if my actions don't always show it. I booked a virtual appointment with a psychologist who diagnosed me with OCD and let me know she would help me. I have since had about 8 sessions with her, and she has been a big help. Of course, I still have a long way to go, but I have been noticing some improvements lately. As for my daughter, she stayed at my sister's house and came home a few days later after I told her that there would be major improvements made in my behavior. I sat all the kids down and told them I have the resources to not be such an overbearing asshole to them anymore. One thing I do want to address is the fact that I was usually controlling with my kids, but the incident I wrote about was the one that sent both me and my daughter over the edge. Me and her are on much better terms. I want to thank Reddit for waking me the hell up to become a better mom and wife. I also want to apologize to anyone who I brought back bad memories to and want to have relationships with my children until we all grow old. And I know so many of you guys don't have that, which breaks my heart. But also hearing your stories gave me a big change of heart and are helping me fix my relationships and become a better person. Okay, I'm sorry you're not an asshole.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's just kind of like it made me change my mind halfway through. I don't feel like they're an asshole because, like, for it to be a whole OCD thing, it's like you can't. I mean, I don't know. They got diagnosed with
Condition, isn't it?
She's kind of crazy because she got diagnosed with ACD by an online therapist, and she so far had 8 sessions with her for OCD. First off, okay, if you get diagnosed by an online therapist for OCD, you now need to go to an actual therapist and not relay the information that you've been diagnosed by another therapist. There's no biases. And then after that, you need to separately go to OCD classes. You need to find help for your own OCD. If you're OCD, this would already be solved because you'd have been this. You'd have done this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have just took this from one person. But it's at the end of the day, don't take your advice from people online and don't overreact. And your daughter won't end up having to go stay at your sister's house because you threw her clothes on the ground because she didn't fold them.
Yeah, at first I thought like they're overreacting, but then I read they had said that they don't really like get along, but this had helped her open up her eyes and shit.
At the end of the day, though, like it's just like if you haven't instilled those morals into your kid by the time that they're like that age, then I'm so sorry to tell you, like, yeah, that's basically our best chance of doing it now, but like it's kind of your fault, like, you know.
Plus it like causes trauma onto the kids that they're raising.
Mm-hmm.
Now the kid will always have to grow up like, oh, I gotta have my folds neatly.
It could cause them to have OCD.
Huh?
It could cause them to have OCD.
Mm-hmm.
Which I run into this a lot because, like, you run into young parents because, you know, we're kind of young. So, like, you know, just, like, people that don't genuinely know what to do for their kid or, like, how to get, like, they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, I want this result, but I don't know what to do to get the result. because there's like, you know, so much things to do, and it's basically like an investment, you know, like of a time investment. So the best advice I'd say is talk to like multiple like people who deal with children development, like, you know, who have done this before and all of that, and maybe like don't take the advice just from one source, you know, seek out multiple sources, and you can plan it over a period of time so that it's not like, you know, $1,000 to talk to one specialist and then you gotta instantly jump to another one, pay another $1,000. You just spread it out, like, you know, 1 month, you know, or you save up. And then just kind of like, once you do that, you get like what they're doing, like the mechanics of what they're doing. And then you start to develop your own opinions and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's kind of an asshole.
That's basically how I feel.
But
I mean, like,
she's an asshole, but at the end of the day, like, had a revelation about being an asshole.
yeah. Like, I feel like I said, it's kind of like, I guess I would say I have mixed feelings about it, because it's like at first I'm like, you're the asshole, and then got diagnosed with OCD, but I don't know. In my opinion, it's like I can see both ways how like she'd be an asshole and also how it's not really her fault.
Imagine though if I told you, like, I was like, yeah, I got diagnosed with long arm syndrome from a doctor in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Or just even an online doctor, like, oh yeah, I got diagnosed with what's it called? What's that other one? ADD. From a online therapist. Like, it's like, dog, just, you know.
I imagine someone on like online. They're like, oh yeah, you got diabetes.
Yeah.
How's like an online doctor tell that? There's blood work and different things that have to go through.
Self-diagnosing your own self.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for not telling my dad he isn't getting the inheritance he's expecting? My mother died when I was 16. My dad married another woman 2 years later. My grandparents, my dad's parents, hate my stepmother. I really don't like her either. Even after my half-siblings were born, my grandparents never warmed up to her. My grandparents are quite wealthy. My father has been banking on this inheritance for a while. He has even been not paying into his retirement because he's so sure that he will inherit the millions. I just found out on Saturday that I'm getting the majority of my grandparents' estate. My father is getting a token of the amount, $50,000, so he can't dispute it. My grandparents made me promise not to give out any money after, and I intend to keep my word. But I do feel really guilty that my father just spends his money as it's coming in because he's relying on money he won't get. I also found out my dad is in a lot of debt. Am I the asshole for not telling him?
Yeah.
There's a lot of undisclosed here, because, alright, so first off, he's inheriting millions. And then second off, the grandparents specifically told him, do not pay out anybody. If y'all don't know, what they basically did is they gave him $50,000 so that he can't say like, oh yeah, you took me out of your will or anything like that, and then go to court over the money. So it's like basically like there's a reason, there's something behind that. And then copious amounts of debt, like how much debt are you in? Like, cause some people tell you, oh yeah, I'm in just a little bit of debt. It'd be $100,000, $200,000 worth of debt, you know, accumulated through like, you know, school or paying for school, you know, $500 every month car payment or $500 to $1,000 a month every car payment, you know, things like that. Like, you never know. Like, so this dude, like, if you get money, the best thing to do if it's not a situation like this is kind of keep it to yourself. You don't know nobody nothing, but at the end of the day, don't let your folks die. You know, don't let your folks starve.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those kind of money. I feel like sometimes you keep it to yourself, but I still feel like they're an asshole just for not telling him, like kind of just letting him dig himself into a deeper hole. Like he's
that's gonna
continuing
ruin his
to
relationship.
Spend more money.
Spend money. He's thinking like, oh my, well the person is like, all my daughter or son is gonna take care of me. So I'm just spending the money I got right now.
The grandparents are still alive, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It said the mother passed, right?
Yeah, the mother passed.
So I would instantly start discussing it with my grandfather because I'd feel bad because I could tell the dude feels bad about not like looking out for his father, but at the end of the day, his father is kind of like, you know, not really assessing his situation there.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, like, you don't bank on eggs that are gonna be in your basket. You bank on eggs in your basket, you know, and that even you don't do that. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. So, you know, I'd just talk it out with the grandparents. Be like, hey, can maybe I pay off his debt, all the money that he thought he was gonna have, and then so he's not like bankrupt. Because that's what's gonna happen to him. There's no way he's gonna pay off that debt. It sounds like he's in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be coming back from that.
He doesn't even have a retirement.
Yes.
So that's gonna crush his father.
Oh yeah.
That's life crushing. That's like, yeah, the thing that you counted on all your life. Nope,
You're not getting it.
you're not.
No. I'm gonna do a little couple would you rather.
Yep.
Moving on to would you rather.
Yep. So we got a few would you rather's. I don't know how many are gonna get read. We might just wind up doing one apiece. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes for us to decide through some of these. Because would you rather's, they're usually quicker than Am I the Assholes. Am I the Assholes are usually like whole paragraph stories. Would you rather's are usually just kind of like simple, like you got it.
Sometimes though there can be a discussion, as we've seen in previous episodes.
Yeah. So this first one, it might only be something that me and Jake can actually discuss.
I can explain it. I see the title.
It says, would you rather live in the Fallout world or the Mad Max world? Chris, have you ever seen Mad Max?
I've seen Mad Max.
You've seen Mad Max, but you
The like recent one. I haven't seen the old ones.
And do you understand the premises of Fallout?
Don't have to do like nuclear stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Basically, you want me to run down the Fallout?
Yeah.
I played a lot of Fallout, my bad. So basically, worlds are at war, and they shot off nukes at each other. Everything's nuclear contaminated, so like the water, the soil, everything, there's pockets of radiation everywhere. The creatures have mutated to like a gigantic level. There's some even like bosses that you see in games, like, you know, like 20 foot, 40 foot dudes, like, you know, out there. But, you know.
It's like, depending on what area you go to, like, you're going to run into a boss fight, and it's not like a simple boss fight either. There's these things called death claws that look like weird dragons, or like the people from like Scooby-Doo 1, the live action thing.
And they're all mutated.
Yeah. And they can like seriously fuck you up. But you can get around in the game without it really doing that.
Also, a major thing I left out, it's set in the 50s, but there's technological advances that are made past. So like flying cars, armor that can protect you from like radiation, things like that. You got a jetpacks, like, you know, like advanced ones, like I know we got them now, but like, you know, military grade jetpacks that are used in war.
There's like different suits of armor and things.
Laser rifles, you know.
But when y'all say that, at first I was gonna pit Mad Max because they don't have, well, the recent one, what is it, Fury Road?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't have like 20 foot tall creatures and shit, or like the mutated monsters. It's just some like hillbillies in like trucks.
Well, it's like in Fallout, if you wanted to, you could just hide in a vault.
Yeah, y'all mentioned like the jetpacks and like the weapons and shit. So I'd have to go with Fallout. Because Mad Max didn't have that.
I'd also go with Fallout because of the civilizations. This is one thing I kind of forgot to say too. Mad Max, the civilizations, they're more or less like a bunch of people riding through the desert ready to kill you, and like, you know,
Ravager type stuff.
forming babies. In Fallout, you got people that are out there that are bad, but it's more or less like they're trying to rebuild type stuff, and if they are bad, they're more or less like ransom you. They might cut your head off, a super mutant, but you know.
I would choose Fallout as well, just because like I've played. Probably I haven't played it as much as Jake has, but like I've really enjoyed playing I've played Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Fallout 4.
Those are the ones that you need. The first two you don't even need them.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting world to be in Fallout.
I love it though. Like it's so much immersion in the game.
Mm-hmm. And there's the mods. Big on the mods. You can like Bethesda Studios. They let you mod their game for free. Like there's no like it's no hacking, no anything like that where you're gonna get like banned from a server. Like you can have any mod you want to, just download it. You could run around like the Flash. I think you may have actually played. You've seen me play Fallout 4.
Yeah.
The only instance where they ever banned somebody is in that new Fallout. I think Fallout 76. Somebody got into the admin room. The first person to make it in got banned for life.
Mm.
I would hate to be that though, because it's like a achievement the first person in the admin room, which is a room of all the armor and guns in a game. Like basically admin's testing.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably choose one more and then I'll pass it off to someone.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. I'm about to do exploding couch on prank on them two.
That'd been funny. It was actually set up in there, but I kept flying at my roof. Just my head's sticking out, or my body's just sticking out of the top frame.
So this next one says, which power would you rather have? Invisibility, super strength, flight, teleportation, mind reading, or underwater breathing?
I thought it was coming. The Magneto question.
Flashback.
Magneto was flying perfectly fine.
Magneto's in the
Invisibility, super strength. What else?
Flight, teleportation, mind reading, or underwater breathing?
There's a lot of good ones. Probably.
Is this in like the real world, in a world where like?
This is like the world right now.
Okay, so only I would have the power.
Mm-hmm.
My choices are invisibility, flight, mind reading, or teleportation. I don't know which one of them I'm gonna choose. Underwater breathing, you don't really need it. I mean, you can find treasure. Don't get me wrong, dog. I mean, are you with the underwater breathing? Are you immune to pressure?
I don't know.
Are you a sub, or are you like?
It makes me think of like Aquaman type powers.
Yeah. All right, we'll just say that.
I wonder if Aquaman can reach the 90% of the ocean we have not discovered.
What if he's there?
He could be there right now, and all the movies and stuff are based on true events.
That's what I heard.
I would pick
Heard from you.
I would pick teleportation and I'd go to the White House. I would paint myself blue.
I feel like okay, X-Men reference. But I feel like I would choose flight. And the funny thing is, if y'all have watched episode 3 about Would You Rather questions, I'm gonna bring it back to the movie Chronicle, where they had telekinesis and that's how they were able to fly. But the way they were flying, like playing football up in the clouds and shit, I feel like that was kind of a wild thing just to make themselves fly like that.
You sure it was telekinesis?
I'm sure it's fucking telekinesis.
Not like you just said the power just to flight.
No. It was all telekinesis.
Flashback.
Have you ever seen Chronicle?
Yeah, but they didn't have telekinesis. And
They did have telekinesis.
They did, but they also had the power to fly.
No, it was all the power of the mind from telekinesis. They didn't have the power.
No.
No. But yeah, it was all telekinesis.
Yeah.
That was what.
So you tell me throughout the middle of the movie, they said, okay, well, the stone that we found gave us telekinesis, not the power to fly, actually, as somebody thought, and that we're flying.
Nobody thought that. They started off telekinesis, and then one guy decided to kind of like further the power. It was like, if we could lift this, we could lift that. maybe we can lift ourselves.
I don't
And the
know.
guy
Basically, look, I think they discovered the power to fly.
Just getting you to reiterate your opinion
we will do a movie breakdown on it.
from previous.
I changed my
episodes.
answer. I do invisibility.
Invisibility. Why?
Rob Banks. I would not use these powers for being a superhero.
Do you make the items invisible as well? What do you mean rob a bank? You just go and like rob money and you put it in your pocket and then it will.
Well,
do it when they're closed.
True.
Well, that's if you put it in like your pants or something like that.
Yeah.
You'd have to put it.
Go
It,
around.
it depends on what kind of
pickpocket.
invisibility you're talking about as well.
You could put it, in your other pocket.
The boys translucent. It's like he'd still be wearing a suit and like the clothes would be picked up.
Well, that's not what I was
He'd have to
saying.
be completely naked.
I was saying your back pocket, but with no clothes on.
That's what I was thinking. Put it in your meat wallet.
Oh yeah.
So you
Episode
said you
coming soon?
choose invisible. You choose invisibility, and I choose flight.
I'm gonna go mind reading because I feel like I could achieve a lot of wealth doing that. Like if I was like in a business deal, like in a anything like that.
Mhm. I feel like flight could just come in handy.
I really want flight too, but I didn't take it because I didn't want to be a repick.
I just feel like it could come in handy for a couple of things. Top comment for this would you rather question on Reddit is asterisk teleports inside of you, and people are wondering if it's for pleasure or pain. So, okay.
The boys. Wait, no, he basically shrunk inside.
Yeah. So Jake, do you want to read?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't like how he got inside of him though. Would you rather earn $1 for every step you take or $100 for every 2 hours?
Ah, shit. It's guaranteed money either way, but I feel like I walk more. No?
Well, I mean, if you knew that you were getting money off walking, you'd be insinuated just to walk all day.
That is true. If you know about like that you would be getting like $1 every time you take a step, then I would choose that. But if you didn't know it, I'd probably specifically choose to get $200 every 2 hours. But then how would you know you're supposed to get that money? I don't know.
I guess the first time you do it.
You make more money doing this step. Because I do average about, like if I'm on a lazy day, about 2,000 steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's $2,000. If you make $100 every 2 hours, that means you get about like
1,200.
yeah, 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you make more even on a lazy day.
Okay. Well then I guess I stick with my first answer. Choose the $1.
Yeah, same here. I'd also be on a treadmill. I'd instantly buy a treadmill.
Yeah.
And it's pretty money.
I wonder, like, walking, does it, like, or it says every step that you take. Okay, so yeah, steps involve movement. Okay, because I was going to
But
say,
you got a
if
job
it's just
that
like
involves
you kind of just sit there and you do that as you're doing stuff, but that's not included as steps.
Yeah. Plus, you got a job that involves you to walk a lot. You're getting paid doing the job while you're also making money by stepping.
All right. Y'all ready to move on to the next one?
Oh yeah.
Would you rather have $2 million now or a guaranteed $10,000 a month for the rest of your life?
I would choose $10,000 a month for the rest of my life. It
Yeah.
depends. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna live to a pretty decent age.
That would be over $2 million.
Yeah, by the time I die.
Yeah.
Hopefully I
die.
wouldn't die at some kind of like car crash or tragic event or anything like that.
It's kind of a difficult one for me now because you can invest that $2 million and then have something that pays $10,000, a month. But it's not easy. I mean, it's not hard to make $10,000 a month. Car dealers do.
You get $2 million and that's guaranteed for a one-time thing. And yes, you can add on to the $2 million, but $10,000 guaranteed every single month, you could figure out how to be able to invest that and triple.
Yeah, but it takes you
triple.
like 10 years, right, to get to $1 million. It
Well,
take you, 12.
But still, I mean, do you feel like you're gonna die in that amount of time? It might take longer to get to it, but still.
It would take 20 years to get to $2 million, rather than have $2 million right now.
No, I don't think I'm gonna die at 40.
But do you want to start your life basically like? I guess you're not like starting your life when you get to 2 million, but still though, you see what I'm saying though?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd take the 2 million. Cause like I could invest it maybe,
I chose the 10 million a month.
That's what I think. 10 million.
or the 2 million. I think I said 10 million.
2,000.
Or 10,000.
10,000.
We're both messing up.
No, it's just
So-
a little late, bro. And then, yeah. Which of these video game perks would you rather have in real life? Third-person POV toggleable as you please. Background music would work as a soundtrack to your life that's always appropriate for the situation you're currently in. You can see your life's stats and achievements on demand, including overall steps taken, meals eaten, or amount of liquids drunk, etc. Fast traveling allows you to instantly teleport to a previously visited place at will. You have access to your personal inventory at times, which has infinite storage. You have the ability to take screenshots or videos of whatever you're currently looking at to view later. So I'm going to go back. You get a video game perk in real life, third person POV, background music, stats, fast travel, inventory, screen capture.
Damn.
I'm stuck on the background music or the fast travel.
I'm stuck on background music or like having access to personal inventory.
I like fast travel, inventory, and then third person POV. I guess that I use that a lot in PvP games, so yeah.
I feel like for background music, I feel like that would just like the only time I feel like it might not be fun is like
It's when like you're about to go off and you hear this.
or it's like sneaky. I'm just gonna add it. There we picked up.
So
That's what I said. I just added in.
the sneaky was like,
Well, it's like imagine like Sneaky Snitch starts playing like,
Oh.
while you're trying to like sneak around somewhere.
well, like only you hear it. Oh,
That's
I
what
guess everybody.
I
let
feel
me
like it
back-
would be like everybody.
Background music would work as a soundtrack to your life. It would always be appropriate for the situation you're currently in.
Yeah, but it doesn't specifically say like whether it's gonna be out loud. I would assume it'd be out loud though, because it'd be like a video game type thing. I'm picturing like the Family Guy episode when Quagmire
I knew you were about to say that.
Fortunate Son. like yeah, my
penis would
sang
even play Fortunate Son
And
while
it's
I was
just,
visiting a
like,
whorehouse.
Now. He used to say I don't already put background music in my head 24/7.
That could be. That is true.
Depending on
every
the
situation that I have.
Also keep track of all my stats.
I feel like for the inventory thing though, it's like I don't feel like you'd ever lose anything.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like you would just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna put it in my inventory, and then you'd be like, where's that whistle that I had like 5 years ago? And you're just like do. Oh, there it goes. Or if it's like an inventory like Minecraft, you'd be able to like search bar it.
Or it'd be like the bag from John Horter. I think that's his name. From Puss in Boots. Please go support that movie, man. We need more Shrek movies.
I really want to go see it.
But I would do the fast travel. So I can go hit up every Rolling Loud, every Coachella, see Frank Ocean.
I
Yeah,
think I would do the background music.
I'm going fast travel. I
You can hit up Mount Everest. Look at Mount Everest.
Everybody gave theirs.
I think I'm pretty much satisfied. I think that's also gonna be it.
That's a wrap.
Oh, word? No, I really like that though. I really like. Even though I started a little bit, it's kind of late for us, but you know, it's kind of our own fault. You know, we choose to record, but I really like Reddit. You know, just scrolling through some people's personal problems.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like this has been like a pretty interesting video. I hate that Key wasn't here able to better read anything.
No, I mean, I feel like it wasn't that big of a topic to miss out on, but I really wish he was here to see it. Or not even see it, just hear it.
That's I would have liked to hear some of his opinions.
Yeah.
So.
That one tattoo one, I know he does got it.
He's got at least, I think, 3 tattoos, so he probably would have had something to say on that.
Oh yeah. What if he got one? What if he got an initial?
Yeah, we
just don't know about
check his tattoos. This will be the video that gets him to check his tattoos.
Who's Asian?
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for the Reddit questions and am I the asshole and all that kind of stuff. If you like the video, leave a like and comment, and we'll see about doing some more of these. I guess see you all on Monday.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Peace.
Bye.